Hello everyone. In this video we are going to look at creating multiple drawing sheets within a drawing packet, and in particular for activity 1.2.3 with Project Lead the Way IED, we are going to be working on drawing sheets that showcase multi-view perspectives or a multi-view drawing with an isometric for each of our construction blocks. In the previous video we talked about how to create this title page, if you will, the first drawing in our drawing packet, which is a series of isometrics of each of our drawing blocks, and those are created in reference from the model that we have shown here with our 6 components modeled up in Fusion. We then created our first drawing using a custom title block that was shared with you. You can see that down here at the bottom, and I've got my 6 isometrics looking nice. Now we need to create some additional drawings, one for each of these objects, and we're going to have a multi-view drawing in there. And you can see I've already got some down here, but I'm going to show you how to add sheets, and I'm going to redo a couple of these so you can see what the finished product will look like. So I'm going to go ahead, once I've already in my drawing where I've got my 6 isometrics, and again the previous video shows you how to get there, you're going to want to do not open up a new drawing. Instead what you're going to do is we're just going to do a quick add. We're going to add a sheet to this drawing. I've got multiple sheets going here. This just brings up a new title block. It has a sheet number reference. If you notice, I've now created, this is my 9th sheet, which is more than you need, and I'll talk about that at the end. But notice that it's updated it to where this is sheet 9 of 9. Looking good here. And I am ready to now place a base view and project some other views to make it a multi-view drawing. I'm going to do that by moving my cursor up here to the top left where it says base view. I'm going to left click there on that command. And I'm going to place my base view just as we had in the previous drawing. I'm going to adjust my scale to make a 1:1. And I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now we've got all 6 of our components here, and I'm only going to work on one at a time. For the sake of this video, I'm just going to do 2 of them. The first one is going to be, let's do the triangle, shall we? Let's go ahead and make one of the triangles. We'll do triangle 1. So I'm going to uncheck everything else. I'm going to leave triangle 1 checked. And now I have this triangle in a scale of 1:1. Notice I can click and move it around in my screen. This is my base view. I'm now going to project to make it a multi-view. I'm going to use this command right here, project views. If I left click on that, I can select my base view, and I'm going to drag it straight to the right, and I'm going to place my right view, and I'm going to drag it straight up and place my top view. I'm also going to go diagonal and put a reference isometric, and then click check. I'm doing all those with left clicks. I left click on my base, move out, left click to place my right, come back, move up, left click to place my top, come back, move up to the right to create my isometric there. That's the path that I went on. Let's shade our isometric. That's always good practice to show some dimension and some perspective there with our isometric. And notice that when I grab my base view now, Fusion is great at keeping some drawing principles intact for us. In this case, it allows me to make some adjustments to the location, and the other views are going to stay in alignment with that. I love that. I think that this top view is a little high. I'm going to pull that one down. But notice if I wiggle this left to right, it won't let me because my base view is what locks that in. I'm just kind of spreading these views out. This one can move independently because this is a reference perspective. I'm just going to make it look good there on the page to where everything looks nice. And that is all you're doing. This is an entirely new drawing sheet that would showcase the triangle. This is what I'm looking for. And we'll have this, we'll do this now 6 more times, have 7 total sheets. One with all your isometrics, and then one for each of these components. Again, I've already created these, so I'm just showing you them and what they would look like. Notice that these last 2 have a few features in here that we didn't cover in our triangle. So let's go ahead and show that now. I'm going to open up one more sheet, even though I don't need it. I'm going to redo the process here and show you how to place a base view that has a curved object and how to get some other lines to show up. So let's go ahead and place a base view. Left click on base view. Bring it out here and left click to place. I'm going to change my scale to 1:1 because I have the room to do so. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. I'm going to take out all of my objects, and I'm going to show you one of the more complex objects, which in this case is going to be the half arch. So I've got, or I'm sorry, not the half arch, just the arch. I'm going to kind of relocate my base view just a bit, just in kind of position where I think I'll like it. And then I'm going to go ahead and here and hit this command, project views. And I'm going to project my base view to the right. I'm going to project my base view up, make a top, right, and a top view, and diagonally to make a reference isometric view as well. Pull this down just a bit, kind of realigning everything to make it look nice. Okay, let's go ahead and add some shading to our isometric. Click there. Clicked on shading to go ahead and make that shaded. I like that. And we got to change a couple more properties here. So I'm going to click on this view, this top view. And I'm going to double click to make it active. And I'm going to change this one to where it shows visible and hidden edges. Notice that that will allow me to now have hidden lines. I can do that for this view as well. And it's showing now these points, these edges are being represented with these hidden lines on both of my projected views. I don't have any hidden lines here, so I'm good to go. The other thing I need to do is show center lines, and I can do that with what's called geometry. So I'm going to right click here on this top view. I'm going to first left click, then right click. I'm going to go to geometry, center line. Now I'm in the center line command, but I need to show what I'm drawing the center line between. And this is my curved or circular object. It's represented by these edges. So I need a center line to shoot here. So I'm going to left click on this edge, move over, left click on this edge, and it inserts a center line down the middle. And again, I got there by going to geometry. So I left clicked on my image, then I right clicked, and I went to geometry, center line. I can also do center marks, which I'm going to do that here on this base view. I'm going to highlight that, right click, geometry, center mark, and I'm going to select my circle to put a little center mark there. I think when we hand sketch this will look a little different, but for the sake of Fusion, we're going to keep it at that. I think a center line gets a little distracting. The center mark is what we're going to use for Fusion for this particular drawing. And this is what I would consider a completed drawing of our most complex shape in this drawing packet, which is the arch. The last thing I'll draw your attention to is anything that has these hidden lines. You can see I have the center line and center mark here on our arch. That was the other triangle that we already created. Here's my half cylinder. I've got a center line here, as well as that is a misplaced center line. So I'm going to take that out because we won't have one there. The center line here would actually run along the object line, and the object line takes precedence. So we're not going to show that. I did insert a center mark here on the front view. That is appropriate in 2 drawing standards. So I've inserted a center mark here and a center line here. Everything else is good to go on this one. Here is that arch that we've already done. And here is our cylinder. Again, I've got a center line running through the middle of the cylinder here on both my base and my right view, and I've got a center mark that I used up here. Again, I'm just finding that by right-clicking, going to geometry, and then clicking center mark and choosing that circle. That concludes this video about how to create multi-view drawings. The last video is going to be how to take all of these drawings in this drawing packet and exporting them to PDF. Nice work, everybody.